What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today I've got a story time for y'all I think you're going to enjoy about something funny I witnessed when I went out to eat last. It was a dude who definitely did not need another margarita, but was pretty insistent upon getting one, and overall the situation just got very awkward very quickly. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it and press the like button, otherwise you're never getting another margarita in your life. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I stay inside quite a bit more than I should. You know, I'm not too great at the going out being social thing. YouTube downside. That being said, a couple of my friends hit me up and they were like, hey, we're gonna be going to this little chain restaurant for dinner with a couple friends. You should swing by. It's pretty fun. They have, like, you know, a deal where you can get all you can drink margaritas. And obviously, you know, I hadn't seen them in a bit, so I was like, sure, why not? It sounds like a relatively good time. So whatever, I Uber on over to the restaurant and I get there and all my friends are sitting there eating some chips, drinking margaritas. You know how it goes. So I sit down and I start talking to them and I have a margarita as well. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know, I'm surprised that they're willing to have like such cheap drinks, because I feel like this is a recipe for people to get out of control. And you know, I'm not saying that in a way to crap on anyone's fun. It's just reality that like anytime you have the general public consuming lots of alcohol, there's a pretty solid chance someone's gonna do something stupid. You know, it's just a numbers game at that point. And we're sitting in this booth and kind of like across the restaurant is this sports bar thing. Like, it wasn't like officially a sports bar, but it had a bunch of games on it. It was a bar and there's a bunch of people sitting there, and there's one dude that I can tell has definitely enjoyed the deal on the margaritas, and I can tell he's really enjoyed it because it's a grown man with gray hair. You know, I'm not trying to be ageist at all. I'm just pointing out that he's a little bit older, and he is literally in the bar stool spinning in circles as fast as he can, pushing himself like it's the teacups at Disneyland. And so I laugh a little bit. I go, oh, that guy's having a great time, right? And when I look over, like everybody looks over to look at it, we realize that apparently, even though he's having a good time, nobody else is, because there's a lady being like, sir, please stop, sir, please stop. And he stops and he yells loud enough for us to be able to hear him across the restaurant. And it's not a quiet restaurant, so homie's really belting it out. He's like, why do I need to stop spinning? And the lady's like, because, sir, we just don't understand why you're spinning. You're gonna elbow somebody, you're knocking drinks everywhere, not to mention, you know, you're gonna make yourself sick. You've drank a lot. And he's like, I've never gotten sick from spinning before, which I feel like is probably because you haven't spin enough, you know? Like, even if you are one of the least motion sick people on the planet, let's say that motion sickness itself sounds foreign to you, you can't even fathom it. Chances are you get drunk enough and spin in circles for long enough, you're gonna puke. Like, I'm sorry, I just refuse to believe that people are not human. Like, if you drink enough margaritas and throw yourself into one of the astronaut training centrifuges, you're gonna be painting the sides of that green in a couple minutes, I have no doubt. Regardless, this guy's arguing about how apparently he never throws up from spinning, so therefore he should be allowed to do it, conveniently brushing over the fact that he's like knocking people's drinks off the bar and just being obnoxious. So at that point, she's like, no, you can't spin anymore, like the manager, right? And he's like, well, I want to do what I want. I'm the one paying for this. And they're like, yeah, but you also realize that we have the right to cut you off whenever. So if you're not going to accept the fact that, you know, you can't spin, then you're done. No more margaritas and you need to go. And when they said no more margaritas, dude, you would have thought that this man just got told that, like, he was no longer allowed to visit his kids, dude. He stood up and was like, are you kidding me? What? What? This is absurd. Are you serious? Are you serious, ma'am? You're gonna cut me off from the great deal on these margaritas because I won't stop spinning in my chair? And she's like, it's not just about the chair. It's the fact that you won't calm down and you keep making a scene in the restaurant. I think it's best that you go home. Like, I think you've had a little bit too much. And listen, this is also kind of on the restaurant. I don't think this manager was the one serving. She's not the bartender. But you're kind of in charge of making sure that people don't reach this point, you know? I've never worked in a restaurant, but I do think that, like, A, it's possible he's sneaking drinks. I'm not putting it all on them. But at the same time, maybe the bartender should have realized by, like, Margarita 7 that this guy was probably gonna become a problem, you know? Especially if he's, like, you know, sucking those things down like Shirley Temple's, just, can I have another? Can I have another? Can I have another? It's probably a good idea to cut him off. But regardless, now he's arguing about how, like, it's my right as an American to drink these margaritas. I pay for them, so I'm gonna drink them as much as I want. And she's like, no, you're gonna go. you're gonna go. And so she signals to like the security guy to come over, right? And when the security guy comes over, I don't know if the guy's just so out of it that he thought that like this guy was coming to take his order, but he's like, thankfully, good waiter around here. Give me another margarita now. And the guy's like, no, dude, I'm not here to take your drink order. We're gonna go. And he's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. And the guy's like, yeah, man, we're gonna go. And he's like, I'm not leaving until I get another margarita. And at that point, the person he's with, I don't know if it's his friend, you know, his wife, I don't know who it was, but they kind of get up and kind of start telling him to like, all right, relax, like we're gonna go, it's gonna be okay, like we're gonna leave. And he's like, no, I don't want to leave. I paid for bottomless margaritas and I haven't reached my bottom yet. And everybody at this point is just staring, watching this go down, because there's no way not to, you know. He's reached that point of margaritas where like all volume control has gone out the window. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know when people just have one volume and it's insanely loud, like they're just gonna scream and go absolutely brazy, there's just no quietness. That's the point he's reached. So obviously he's just making a big scene. And so finally he's like, well, I don't want to go. And the guard's like, listen, man, you're either gonna go with me, you have one more chance to come with me, otherwise I'm taking you with me. Do you understand? And he's like, whoa, dude, you're getting a little aggressive. There's no need to do that. I just wanted a margarita. And he's like, listen, I know you want a margarita, but you gotta go. You can get a margarita at home, but you're not getting them here. And he's like, all right, man, all right. So they start walking out the door, right? And the entire time he's like trying to reason with this dude as to why he should be allowed to have another margarita. Except the reasoning isn't very good. It's just kind of like, you know, the reasoning that you might use when you're a kid trying to convince your parents to let you get a puppy. Hear me out. If I have margarita and I'm good with it, then you know, like I'm proving my responsibility. And the guard's like, yeah, man, I guess that would, but I don't really care about your responsibility. Like whether or not you're responsible isn't my problem. My job is to just keep the bar safe. And he's like, yeah, but don't you want to like give me a chance to redeem myself? And he's like, not really, no. It was just so funny seeing this like grown man try to argue with another grown man about like, well, you know, you gotta give me another chance to redeem myself after I've caused the ginormous scene and been screaming at everyone and demanding free drinks. Anyways, they finally get him outside and everybody just kind of goes back to doing their thing. I mean, obviously it was pretty entertaining, but like, I don't know, I'm assuming a lot of people drink too many margaritas when this place has got this deal going on, because the workers seemed like it was annoying, but not something they haven't dealt with. And seriously, man, like I understand it gets people in the restaurant, but if you gotta be dealing with that every hour, it's just not worth it. And what really cracked me up is the fact that like they were outside waiting for their Uber, you know, and we hear the door open in a commotion of someone being like, no, come back outside. And he's opening the door and he's like, I'm really sorry, but can I please get a margarita to go? He was really hell-bent on it, dude. He was just like, listen, I don't care that I've been kicked out. I don't care that I've been banned forever. Probably gonna put a Polaroid of me up to make sure that I'm never allowed back in this restaurant. I'm getting a margarita to go. Which is, I've realized a very Las Vegas thing, dude. Like, most places, I guess, you can't even, like, buy drinks on Sunday or anything, or, like, a drink in public. Here in Las Vegas, as long as you're in, like, you know, an entertainment area like the Strip or whatever, you technically could get a margarita to go, but obviously the restaurant wasn't exactly too down with that. They were like, listen, man, we're not giving you anything. You need to get out of here or we're calling the cops. And at that point, he went outside and just waited for his Uber, but where he's waiting for the Uber, there was, like, a window. And I wasn't trying to be creepy. I wasn't trying to, like, watch and see what happened. I just couldn't help myself because the dude was, like, out there being as animated as one of those things in a car lot parking lot that's, like, trying to get your attention. Come get a used Toyota. Like, the way his body was moving literally was reminding me of one of those with all the air going through it, dude. He was just so animated, clearly very upset that he did not get his other margarita. Overall, it was just a very dramatic interaction that provided me a little bit of entertainment. You know, I don't hate the dude. I don't think he's bad. I just think he probably had a few too many margaritas, and it's probably best that he got cut off and didn't get any more, you know? I'm sure he woke up the next morning extremely embarrassed looking back on it, like, oh my gosh, did I really get kicked out of a restaurant because I was spinning in my chair too much? Yeah, I think that's enough to make anybody cringe. That being said, as long as you know, don't do it again. Hey, everybody makes mistakes. It happens from time to time. Ain't no shame. At least it was entertaining for everybody else in the restaurant. I do feel bad for the staff that had to deal with it, though. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. I know this is like, you know, up there as one of my shorter videos of the year. There's not really much to it. I just figured it would be kind of entertaining, and I've been feeling a little burnt out, so I'm gonna give myself a short video today, get a little break in. But if you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought, and of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, you can check out my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, link down below, along with a link to the G Fuel store where you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout to get a discount. Other than that, I do put some of my content up on Spotify, so if you want to listen offline without gameplay, whatever floats your boat, I'll put that link in the top of the description. Or you can get yourself the coolest merch to ever exist. A link to that can also be found down below, so be sure to go get that if you haven't already. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see each and every single one of you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.